All right, buddy. I am Jer. This is my partner, Cito, and we are breaking into the video. This is All In. You can follow us on Twitter at AllIn4 NFT. That is All In, the number 4 NFT. As I said, I'm Jer. Cito, my friend, how are you?
I'm doing great, Jer. Doing great. Stuck in Saskatchewan. We are going through one of the worst cold spells ever. I hate to be that guy that complains about the weather, but this is a little bit off. This is crazy. We woke up to minus 49 this morning, Celsius.
Mm, mm. We
Yeah,
got some snow. It's definitely not that cold, but we got a big bucket of snow. I think even the east coast of the United States has been dumping. Um, so I always enjoy the snow. I remember when I was little, shoveling the driveway so I could shoot hoops in the winter.
look at you, shades of Larry Bird.
Yeah. It's funny. So I've been going, my son is going to basketball stations. He's going to these stations and it's
Yep.
run really well by a high school coach. And he brings all of his players to help at each station run really well. He doesn't like it so much. My daughter, who comes with us, doesn't like the loud noise of the buzzer. And he doesn't like to sit too close to people. He always seems back from people and he's shy and doesn't want to get involved. I didn't push him at all. My parents didn't push me at all. And I was like the guy who went all out every single drill. If it's a passing drill, dribbling drill, any kind of falling down drill, how to take a charge, I would go all out. And my kids are not exactly like that. And it's just odd. My parents didn't push me and I went all out. I'm not really
How old
pushing
are they?
them. That was my one thought. I didn't get into basketball. Like they didn't even have it available in my school until I was in 5th grade. Nobody did it. So I did it in 5th grade. My son is in 1st.
Oh, that's pretty young. You got lots of time.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's just interesting how, you know, my dad didn't push
Yep.
me. I went all out. I'm not pushing him. And he's a little more timid, wants to, hang back. But you're right. 1st grade, 5th grade is a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. What they're choosing for sports and why they're choosing those sports at this age, at that age is honestly, they could be choosing it for the pop and chocolate bar they get after practice.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. I think it's just good to be joined doing something. I mean, especially after COVID, let's get out, try to do something. I mean, a fourth of his life he remembers as being inside for COVID. So it's a big shift.
Wow, that's it really puts things in perspective.
Yeah.
You know,
It's harder for him to engage and go out and do stuff, I think, just because we've been inside for 2 years. Anyway,
yeah.
little father and son stuff we got going on over here at the Battaglia house. Now, we are talking all day. We did that previously. We're gonna probably do it again here. That's our first video, Cito, is all day the pack rip. Now we're gonna talk autograph today. However, let's go back a little bit with the all day experience. You and I did the first pack rip for Wild Card. That was very exciting. I love it. I've never been as into Top Shot. I like Top Shot a lot, but oh man, I can tell you everything about fantasy football and defensive players and IDP. So I'm super excited for this. I loved our first experience when you and I got a wild card pack. It was great. There was a bit of hullabaloo over the divisional round pack. What did you think of the experience and your thoughts so far?
I was pretty easy going with the experience. A lot of people hated it. I look at my participation in the all day experience and the all day closed beta as exactly that. It's a closed beta that I've been given the privilege to be a part of. And there are a lot of people out there that would love to be in my shoes. And once you get into the closed beta, you all of a sudden become a lot more critical. It's like, okay, I deserve to be here. This is my right. They're learning things, they're experiencing things. They may just be trying things. They may be setting mistakes out there to see how well their staff can handle them. I'm good with it. Took a little longer, took an hour for us to get in the queue. It was a little stressful. There's a little sweating going on. I thought, maybe I might miss this one. They got us all in. I was good with it.
Yeah, they did. They was supposed to drop. This is the divisional card drop. They was supposed to drop, if memory serves me, at 4. So the room opened at 3. That's Eastern time. So 4 o'clock was supposed to open. Push it back. Things aren't going well. People can't get in. Push it to 4:30. Push it to 5. Push it to 5:30. My thought is you've had all of this experience with the NBA Top Shot. You've got UFC. This is not their first rodeo. To me, it should be running a little smoother, especially with the beta. There's not that many people in there. Top Shot, you get hundreds of thousands of people in there. There's not as many. I mean, I think the packs were roughly 30,000, a little bit below, I believe. So I don't know how many people didn't get in. I don't see a lot of that, honestly, but it dwarfs in comparison to the traffic they get for Top Shot. I wonder why they're not a little more prepared, and then it is a little irksome.
I think that right now they are learning, even though it is Dapper Labs, I'm pretty certain they're not having the same people do all the pack drops. I'm assuming that All Day's got their own staff, Top Shot's got their own staff, UFC Strike has got their own staff. In case you're getting, close to stuff, and I'm assuming that they've got a different system that may have to work. The systems may be exactly alike. I'm not sure, but I had no problems with it. Just happy to be there, let me tell you.
Well, and you and I were breaking into the videos. Watch our podcast. We are shooting episode 14 coming up very quickly. We did episode 13 with the Space Cadets, which is really cool. We got a giveaway going on with them and Boring Stone right now, which is pretty darn neat. We're going to be giving away more Space Cadets stuff, so stay tuned. Again, all in the number 4 NFT on Twitter, and you can find our links to the podcast. Now, you and I thought we would start getting into the video here, right? We're not experts, but hopefully we're going to provide good content and talk sports themed NFTs. So we wrapped a little bit. Our first video was about wildcard, as we talked about. Today we're going to talk a little autograph. Now, Cito, I've jumped in autograph. A few things. This is the DraftKings marketplace. One thing I don't like is you can no longer, I don't know what changed, some bill somewhere, but you can no longer access DraftKings Marketplace, which is autograph, on your DraftKings app. It used to be at the top. You could click it. So at the top, you could go to the DraftKings Sportsbook. You could go to the DraftKings Fantasy, and you used to be able to go to DraftKings Marketplace. For some reason, that is outlawed now. You have to search on Google, DraftKings Marketplace. You get a message that some law changed and they can't link it that way. So it's a little harder to get to. Not much. You got to Google DraftKings Marketplace and you get there. You can also just go to Autograph and get there too. Autograph.io, I believe. Now, I've been getting into this a little bit. Cito, you have not got into Autograph, but I know you got some other sports NFTs, correct?
That is correct. I tried off to start with autograph. I tried getting in on the Tom Brady, tried getting in on the Wayne Gretzky. I had a bad initial experience. It was not quite as bad as my Topps initial experience, but it was just bad. And I just, for whatever reason, it put a bitter taste in my mouth. I know you've had very good success, and I probably should be getting back into it. One of the biggest turnoffs for myself is I'm kind of a Dapper Lab snob. I like my NBA Top Shot. I like the way they've done it with the moments. I found the autograph to be just left me a little wanting. I wanted a little more action in it.
So you're giving them the cold shoulder. By action, what do you mean by action exactly?
By action, I mean, well, when I was a kid, I collected sports cards. No, they were the typical sports cards, your cardboard, your picture on it with, statistics and bad bubble gum. Now, when I got into NFTs and NBA Top Shot, I was completely drawn by the fact that you have that moment. You have, the 5 different perspectives of that play, and it's you own that for all time. And to me, these are, this is the evolution of the sports card. When I went to autograph and it was Tom Brady, it felt almost like you were handing me a digital credit card without the ability to buy stuff. It just felt very, I don't know, left me wanting.
Yeah.
And like I said, the Tom Brady, the Wayne Gretzky, the fact that I didn't get in, I'm sure if I would have got in easy, my experience might have changed the way I'm viewing it now. But I really do have to say I'm a Dapper Lab snob.
Well, first off, I just got to set the record straight. I read Playboy for the articles, and I bought baseball cards for the gum. Just telling you, got to set the record straight. Now, I think you might be a little surprised as to what they've done. I agree with you. Some of them on autograph aren't as flashy, I guess, as the moments. The moment is a snippet of time. But let me just share what I've gotten so far. I think I have about 5
Yeah, I
on
was impressed with your collection.
on autograph. Again, I get to it through the DraftKings page. So the first one I believe I got was the Tiger Woods Emerald right here. And like you said, there's not a whole lot to it. I don't know if you can kind of see the
Yeah,
graphic there. It does shift and shimmer and change, and some of them are autographed. This is an emerald, which is better than a carbon, and so it's up there. It's a little bit nicer than the average Tiger
yeah.
Woods, I suppose. Now, that one, the emerald, there was only 1,500. I then got the Usain Bolt. This is just a platinum. There's 2,500, so I bought it for less. But same kind of deal with the Bolt. Very similar to the Woods, where it's almost a card, sort of shimmering. Neither of them are signature. They don't have their signatures on them. Now, some of the other ones I've gotten these 3 mystery boxes. So both the Naomi Osaka, the Derek Jeter, and the Tony Hawk. It's almost a bit of a gamble, and you know me, I'm a gambling man. So you'll buy it for X amount, I think 40, I think the Jeter might have been 60 or 80. And you have the chance to get really, really super high valued moments in each collection. Of course, the majority, they got to make money. The majority of the collection is a little bit less than what you pay to get the mystery box, but that's kind of part of it. The gamble, maybe you hit it over the moon, and all of a sudden that $40, $60 purchase becomes thousands, and that can possibly do it. Now, some of them, you got a little bit of action here. So this is where I'm going to see what you think. Now, the Naomi Osaka, it's not a ton of action. Now, these are pieces of artwork. The really cool ones, the one that she signed was the artwork on the wall. And it was that little tiny picture there. So there's some really cool versions, but you can hear the music and a little bit of animation. I'm now going to bring you over to the Jeter, which has even a little bit more of the animation. And you can see it's his helmet.
Mom, you taught me any dream is attainable as long as you work harder than anyone else. You drilled that in my head.
Now, I'm not sure if you guys at home can hear that, but it's Jeter talking, sort of an inspirational quote. And the one I really do like, I've been a Tony Hawk fan since I was knee-high on a grasshopper. I remember the Animal Chin videos. Holla, if you remember the search for Animal Chin. And his mystery container, even though I didn't hit it out of the park, I got a carbon 1,300 available. But you can see it is more like a moment.
Oh, I like that.
It reminds, and then watch, it does the graphic, like the cartoon, and you can hear it kind of rewind. So you can hear him skating. You can hear his wheels slamming the half pipe.
See, I like that a lot more. I do also like the sound.
Yeah, okay, good. You can hear it.
That's one of the features that actually Dapper Labs doesn't have for Top Shot. They experimented with it on a Mike Conley challenge prize.
I have that one, and but now you don't hear the sounds from the court, I believe. You just hear him explaining the play and like what was going through his head, right? I have that one. I do have that.
Yeah, I believe he explains it. It's not even the announcer, it's Mike Conley that's doing the talking.
I was thinking this, and once I saw that the defensive player did that, I did this.
Yes. What I do like is UFC Strike, apparently. Now, I haven't opened my packs yet, saving that for one of our future videos. But what I do like about UFC Strike is they have the call by the announcers, John Anik, Joe Rogan. making the call on each and every moment that comes up. And I've seen videos of it. I haven't seen my own. Like I said, we haven't ripped ours open yet, but I'm loving that feature.
Yeah, I like hearing Tony Hawk's the sound of the skateboard leaving the ramp, and then like this moment of silence or wind almost, and then they reconnect on the ramp, and you hear that as it's hitting the. I mean, I used to skate when I was little. It brings me back, but I love that sound when he's leaving Earth, defying gravity, and then you hear the crash as he goes next. I mean, that's cool. And I love the graphic, how the graphic pops out, the animation.
Yeah, I have to say, I've never skated. I never did anything, even snowboarded. But, well, I snowboarded once and it was a terrible experience for me. Don't want to get into that right now. But I do love the X Games. You give me X Games, you give me skateboarding, you give me snowboarding, you give me anything X Games-ish, I am all over. I will watch X Games till 3, 4 in the morning.
Well, we're about to see some Shaun White in the Olympics.
Yes.
Snowboarding.
Yeah, I am quite pumped. That's well, I'm Canadian, so obviously my favorite part of the Winter Olympics is the ice hockey.
Yeah.
I come from a curling fan family, so we like our curling. And but give me the Shaun Whites, the Mark McMorrises. I love. Give me my snowboarding all day long. Yeah. That is right up there with anything. Yeah, and especially since the pros aren't playing in the hockey, it might even surpass the hockey this time around.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to that. And we got some racing to look forward to as well. So on Autograph, we've got the Dale Earnhardt drop that's coming up. We're recording on February 2nd. The drop, one of the first drops, comes up tomorrow. So we're hoping to get this video out here pretty quick to you guys. I'm going to just share the screen. So we're just going to look at a couple things here. If you're unfamiliar with going to Autograph or going to the DraftKings Marketplace, how to get in the drop when everything happens, we've got the first one of 4 comes out tomorrow, so February 3rd. And we've got, it starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. And that's for the what it's called is the Dale Jr. Heritage Card, to, February 3rd, 3 p.m. Eastern. You also have, on the same time, an hour later, you've got the Legacy Card, which we'll get to here in a second. And then on February 2nd, 3 p.m., you have a Fiat Auction. So this is unique. There's a whole bunch of directions on how to do the auction. It's certainly the most expensive one. And then they have a unreleased stop time, so that's supposed to be more fair to people. But if you're not going for the auction, also on that day is a signed. Both of these are signed. They're signature. You have a regular old drop. It's called the 88 Engine. These last 2 have some pretty unique utility. Before we get there, though, once again, on the 3rd at 3 p.m., there's 2,500. The most common one, $30. You can get yourself a Dale Jr. Heritage Card. 1 hour later, on the 3rd, you can buy the Legacy Card. You'll see there's only 1,000 of those, and the price doubles. Then on the 7th, both of these are signed. That's the big deal. So both the Victory Lap and the 88 Engine are going to come with utility. You can see there's only one of the signed. This is the auction one. It starts at 5,000 and goes up from there. I doubt a ton of people are going to be doing that, but there's directions certainly on their site. This one is kind of neat. Comes with utility too. It's a regular drop, just like normal. So you go in the queue, it's randomized. There's only 100 of those. $300 is the price. And of course, you're not paying gas or anything. And this one is signed, and it comes with utility as well. So the signed ones are always the ones that go up in value, certainly. Now, the utility, again, the last 2, these are signed. So the ones dropping on the 7th are signed. The first one, the auction one, which starts at 1,000 but goes up from there, that you get a ride along with Dale Earnhardt Jr. And the one that I think I'm going to try for, it's only $300, and it's a signed one. Holders at the activation date, so they'll give you a date, you got to hold it for this long, are eligible to participate in a Zoom call. question and answer with Dale himself. And Dale's going to even then demonstrate how to deconstruct an engine on the basis of how the engine NFT was created, and of course, answer questions. So there's some cool utility that comes with the 2 signed ones. Again, the 2 signed ones are dropping on the 7th. But if you want to just kind of play around with it, I think tomorrow, Thursday, February 3rd, 3 p.m. is a perfect time. $30 gets you in, gets you a Dale Earnhardt Heritage Card NFT. They usually return on value. They usually increase right away. So cool that NASCAR is starting up. We got the Dale Earnhardt Jr. NFT coming out, and I'm excited.
I am too. In the last few years, I've started to develop a little more of an appreciation for racing. I entered my first NASCAR fantasy league. It's part of one of the multi-sport leagues, and the many multi-sport leagues I've got. It's part of a 9-sport league. I've really started to expand my interest into racing.
So we got to do a whole podcast about that. What omnisport fantasy, right? So give me the gist for those who have never heard those words put together.
Well, the general gist is you basically are entering fantasy leagues, but you get a small portion for winning, say, an individual sport. If you won NFL football, you'd get a certain amount of points that would go into the overall. A small portion of the entry fee would go, you'd probably, enter for $30, win $80 for winning the NFL league. But if you happen to win the overall, you start to get into thousands of dollars because the majority of the money is kept for winning the overall.
Mm-hmm.
I started out with a 3-sport league, and it was just basically NFL basketball and football. I've expanded it. A lot of them mostly are 4. I've got a lot of 6 leagues. I've got 1 league that's a 9-sport league. One of those sports is NASCAR.
Now, I can see, it would be cool to, especially if you aren't fans of a big sport, but to pick a sport, especially during a time of year when maybe your sport, NFL's not on or NBA is not on or whatever you're into, getting into rugby or something, or something that you don't normally get into that you can all of a sudden follow. But when you do that, are you playing like regular fantasy, or are you just picking a team to go the farthest in, let's say, the soccer league or the rugby league or whatever you pick? Are you just picking a team? Are you playing real deal fantasy within each sport? Or I suppose you can do both. It just depends on the league, right?
Well, this concept, I believe, started with you just picked a team. You'd go into a league and you pick 2 or 3 teams.
Yep.
But we have expanded it. I don't think we invented this, but we are certainly taking it to a whole nother level. You're picking players.
Yeah.
Your original draft, it's a multi-sport draft. It's usually the 4 major sports of hockey, baseball, basketball, and football. And you're picking, whichever ones you want. You've got to build 4 teams out of that draft. So you may start with NBA, you may go to NFL, you may bounce around. The draft is unbelievable how much fun it is.
But you said the one you've got now does racing, right? You've got NASCAR?
Correct. Now, NASCAR is different. It's almost like a weekly redraft. Every week you pick 6 winners, and you get a certain amount of points. I would prefer it actually if we kept it almost dynasty and actually picked racers that can form your own race team. Some guys didn't like it. A lot of guys were NASCAR newbies, including myself, and wanted to try this first. That might be something we expand into. This is only the second, going into the 3rd year of the 9-sport.
Well, we at All In are expanding into racing as well. In fact, one of our recent giveaways had to do with racing. Now, as I said, we're doing giveaways all the time. So we had this one not too far back where we had a winner recently selected, and they won the Top Shot and this Aaron Rodgers. Now, that one's closed, but we do have that one I should mention before I go on to the next one. With this one, in order to win, they had to pick the race car and the team that finished the highest in the past Rolex 24, and the guy who won it actually picked the team that finished second. So I thought that was pretty cool. We have certainly been in contact with them and sending the prizes to them. And of course, we do have the current one that comes from Boring Stone. Here's the Boring Stone art you can win, and Space Cadets. We talked to them on our most recent podcast. That's episode 13. You can get a whitelist spot on their Discord, or by following their Discord. And by doing that, the coolest part of this, not only do you get the Boring Stone NFT, but you get the whitelist spot, which will enable you to have a 1 in 980 chance of winning a brand new Tesla. Custom wrapped for you. Again, check us out. I believe this is pinned on our Twitter page. So check it out. All in for NFT. Now
just to clarify, Jer,
yes.
Just to clarify on that, just getting on the whitelist doesn't get you into win the Tesla. You get on the whitelist, you get the opportunity, but you have to purchase one of the Space Cadet NFTs, which you should want to anyway. The project's fantastic. The utility's amazing. You got to get in on this. If you're into NFTs, you need to get into Space Cadets.
Yeah, good caveat. Not just being on the whitelist, but yes, you have to. I mean, that would connect your wallet to them, so you would have to actually purchase the NFT. Correct, but you're going to be able to do it at the pre-sale price or a pre-mint date and the pre-sale price by getting on that whitelist. Now, as I said, we did our first IMSA one, and that was kind of a fantasy pick'em. I thought it was cool. Our winner picked the second one. We do have another one coming up. Details to come soon, but I'm going to tell you, it's coming up. Follow us on Twitter, and you're going to be able to be in the running for 2 tickets to Sebring. So that's the next big IMSA race. We're going to give you 2 tickets to go to the race with the ultimate fan experiences. So hanging out in the garage, sitting in the car, getting photos. I mean, meeting the team, meeting drivers. It's going to be really neat. Of course, that is always COVID dependent. But, man, 2 tickets to Sebring, plus coming from Firma Pro, Ed Murowinski, the same guy who did the Aaron Rodgers. We're also going to give away a James Harden NFT. His current number is 13. So we're going to give you number 13. It's number 13 out of 50. So I think it's one of our best giveaways. Again, 2 tickets to Sebring, comes with the ultimate fan experience, and then you get the James Harden 13 out of 50 NFT.
Absolutely. We've had some great giveaways, but this one runs away with it. You get the opportunity to get to the race. You get the opportunity, hopefully, like you said, COVID willing, the fan experience. You get a ride along with one of the riders. You're going to get some garage experience. It's really just an incredible prize given to us by the great people and our friends at IMSA. I don't know, Jer, how much of the Rolex 24 you got. IMSA racing is something that's quickly, capturing my heart. The Rolex 24 was an amazing experience. You have 61 different race teams competing in 5 different categories. You've got guys that your race teams are going for 24 hours. That car is basically right around the clock. You've got 4 different drivers. It's the first time I've ever seen racing take a team aspect. I watched it. I followed it. I'm hooked. Obviously, I didn't watch all 24 hours, but
yeah,
I'm hooked now.
We're partnering with them a little bit. IMSA, again, thank you to them for giving the tickets and this ultimate fan experience. And on the Rolex, we had, one of our guys, Justin, there. He brought his son, which was really cool. And he even came back away saying, man, not only hearing and seeing, but feeling the power of those cars when you're that close up, how exciting it was. And he was giving us some great videos and photos, boots on the ground. We're going to continue to do that. We're going to have some guys representing us at the Sebring, I believe, as well. But nonetheless, 2 tickets for you. Ultimate fan experience plus the number 13 out of 50 James Harden NFT. That is all coming up. Give us a follow. Give us a like. We'll tweet out the requirements to this very soon. And it's exciting. Cito, we got to do this again where, you know, we're doing the podcast, but also chit chat about sports and athletic themed NFTs that are coming out, and something to keep your eye on.
Yeah, I love this format. I love our extending our reach out into video. The product it feels fresher. It feels just a little more alive. I'm a big fan. And like I said, search us out. Search out our latest podcast with Space Cadets. You're going to love it. You're going to love the product. You're going to love the project, and get in to win on the Tesla. And keep watching for these videos. These are going to be coming fast and furious. We are going to probably do them a little more frequently. And I think you're going to really like it. I think you'll love the format. I think you're going to like what we're doing for you.
Yeah, and we're trying to bring you good content, well thought out stuff, and just really introduce you guys to new NFT projects. Like if you weren't familiar with Autograph, boom, we talked a little bit about it today. We did our first one was a pack rip from All Day. So we're going to continue to do that kind of stuff. Hopefully bring you the good content. And as we grow, you know, work on the video production, but the content is there. The awareness is there. Just talking about what's hot in the NFT athletic circles going around the country and around the world. So thank you guys for stopping by. For my partner Cito, I am Jer. This has been an all-in video. We will catch you next time.
Peace.